I'm Bonnie McGowan. I have Dave Ray here, and I'm excited to have him. He's in Atlanta. He's from New York City, and also originally from Antigua, and he's known as a beauty surgeon. I want you to watch to the end because we're going to tell the hairstylists what they need to do to help these girls become real pageant winners. You go to any hair shows, you'll probably see him as one of the judges, right?
Yes.
You've done a lot of judging.
Too many.
And have you done any judging at beauty pageants?
Yes, I've judged quite a few beauty pageants, and I also have been on the committee or the board for Miss USA New York chapter.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I have something I bet you didn't know. Gene and I have both judged beauty contests, and he's very, very highly recommended and sought after because he goes in his tuxedo and.
I naturally pick beautiful women.
Yeah, right. 45 years ago.
Yeah, 45 years ago, I picked a beautiful woman.
Thank you for running the cameras for us tonight. Yeah, it's but that's what made me interested that you did pageants, and I have some granddaughters that have done some beauty pageants, and do you give advice for people?
I do. I a lot of times when you are doing pageants, you have to be very clear about what your intentions are doing a pageant. I find a lot of people going to pageants because they think they're cute. That's not a good reason. You should either have a great platform, be very confident, or build your confidence during the rehearsal or practice sessions. That's key. And listen to people who will give you great advice. A lot of times people go into pageants based on emotions. And your emotions don't help you win pageants. You have to be able to wow the judges. And be sure that when you're practicing or rehearsing for pageant, whatever you're doing, whether it's walking, that whomever is watching you can say, wow, I'm moved by what she's doing in the practice session. If they're not moved, the judge won't be moved either. So those are little things you have to look at.
It's an emotional contact, right?
Yes. You have to be able to wow people. They have to be able to stop and look at you. It shouldn't be real, okay, what time is she going to get off stage? It should be like, wow, she can stay on for another minute. I'm enjoying her. That's a really important part of...
Is that you?
That's me.
Not me.
I guess that's another thing in pageants is have your phone on
vibrate. When you're doing interviews, you should have your phones on mute. So we're gonna let that ride out because this is really a natural video. So, right?
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the beautiful music. Pageant music. This may be pageant music too. Yeah.
What type of pageants? I mean, now we've been involved in like Gene and I. It's all been children.
Okay.
You know, where they have the little tiny girls and they got all the makeup and the false teeth and all of that.
Oh, I see.
You're doing the much higher
I've done
level
children
of pageants.
too. I've trained children. I have judged children. So you have the Junior Miss USA. I've worked with those, and a lot of people will hire me or contract me, I should say, to train their daughters if they're going to enter.
Yeah.
And
that's
normally,
important.
You know, you have 200 girls entering a pageant, like for example in New York, and I get them sometimes in the top 10. And some of the pageants where if they were being judged on performance, they would win. But they're being judged on things like how many tickets did you sell?
Yeah.
How many people did you invite to the show next year to be contestants? So those things play a role.
Yeah.
And so those are that's just the nature of pageants, and you have to learn how the process goes. I don't know the process in that way. I just train people and get you ready and make you wow the audience and the judges. For example, your presentation, your speech. What do you say? You don't go up and say, "Hi, my name is." You have to find another way to say that. So little things like that to make the audience stop or the judges stop and say, "Wow, this is very impressive." You know, not be so regimented or so mundane in terms of how you present yourself.
For the hairstylists that are listening, and they have a girl that's coming in and she's going to be in a beauty pageant, what advice do you give them on what recommendations for hair, this type of thing? You have any suggestions for the hairstylists that might be listening and wanting to know more?
I would say when you're doing pageantry, the hair is not the focus, so keep the hair as simple as you can.
Okay.
So don't make the hair take over the entire presentation. I generally say do a nice chignon, which is a nice ponytail, and have it nicely coiffed, whether it's up, so the person's face is what we see. You know, doing a lot of crazy looks, I shouldn't call them crazy, but crazy in a good sense, is not warranted in pageantry. It's always a clean look, just like you see a ballerina. So
we've had a couple of granddaughters in beauty contests. They didn't do well because they didn't listen to Jean giving them suggestions like look them in the eye, smile, these type of simple things.
Feet,
Even learning to
feet
smile.
position is very important.
Feet position is important.
Yeah, and they don't understand that. They'll sit there, you
Yeah.
put your feet together, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, third position ballerina, standing this way.
Tell me a little bit more. We've got the hairstylist, they've got the girl sitting in their chair. The stylist understands that she needs to give them a nice, queenly, sophisticated look, but the girl is wanting curls coming down the middle of her forehead and all of this stuff. How do you suggest that they explain and talk and work with it?
So, I always try to tell people pageantry is about an impression. So aesthetics, facade, what the judges see. They want to see a clear face. They want to be able to see any lines in your face. So your best bet is to work everything in the back. Now it doesn't say you have to have a ponytail just sitting back there. You can have all the styling back here that's sitting in the back of the head, but the forehead should always be visible. That's like key. So you don't want to ever do anything coming down the face. It takes away from, it takes the focus away from the girl. Sometimes she's speaking in an interview and everybody's focusing on this piece of hair hanging out her face.
Okay, yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
and it's like, okay, why is that hair hanging there? If your hair is back, nice drop earrings, if that's what you have to wear, it brings your whole presentation, your deportment as we call it. Your deportment is more pleasing to the eye as opposed to your hair coming down your face or on the side of your head or a big afro or something. Not saying we don't like afros, but you also have to remember that you're trying to win. So do things, use the winning formula, not what you like. And I always tell people this when they're competing, whether it's a hairstylist or a pageant young lady, use things that the judges like, not what you like. That does not create a winner. So if the judge is not impressed with you and you're great, what difference does it make? It's like you wasted your time entering. So if you're just going in there because you want to make up the number of girls they need, that's fine. If you're going in there to win, you have to use the winning formula.
Yeah.
That's it. That's one of the things I would say. Even the way you stand, the way you carry yourself. As your husband just said to me, don't have your legs open when you stand in front of a girl. Make sure you have them angled nicely and standing so you're looking like you're just ready to do a ballet performance. So standing, stomach in, chest up. Those are some things you have to learn. And I always tell people, if you're going to do a pageant, get training. Get a coach. Get somebody who understands pageantry to work with you even for a week. Even if you can't afford to have them for a month, have them for a week and let them give you tips that you're able to use in your presentation on stage for the pageant.
Well, that's good advice. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you coming and sharing with me. And as I said, this might be some things I can share with my I've got 4 beautiful granddaughters.
Beautiful girls.
Maybe one of them will be a beauty contest winner one day. Thank you, Dave.